Hello, it's Kara from Rump Raves. Excuse my tiredness, I just woke up, and then I have to go to the post office, the bank, and then I have to work. So I'm gonna try to make this a pretty quick video, but I want to get some good information in here because this was a requested video. I'm going to be talking about crocheted or knitted reusable tampons. So I had a few questions from a couple different people about them, and I'm also in my 50 subscriber pad deal video, I talked about, well, I guess I didn't talk about it, but it's the title of the video includes tampons, and I wrote about tampons in the description. So I'm also offering tampons with that. So I guess it's a good idea to get my info out there. So I'm going to be talking about the different absorbencies that I offer and the different types that there are out there. And then I'm also going to be doing a tutorial on how to make them. I'm only going to be making one of the sizes, but from that you can pretty easily figure out how to make the other sizes if you would like. And an important thing to note is that you do need 100% cotton or bamboo or some type of absorbent material for your yarn, because if you use acrylic or something other than that, like wool, that will not work. You will have a very leaky tampon. So I guess I'm going to be talking about the different types first. I have just some random different shapes that I have. This is not one that I made, but this is a type of tampon that a lot of people like, having this little extra piece up here that you can fold over after you roll it up, and then you fold that extra piece over the top and it makes it rounded. So then it's easier to insert. I personally don't make my tampons like that because I like to put them in a disposable tampon applicator, and it works just fine like that. And even without an applicator and without the folded over the top, I can put them in really easily. So that's not a problem for me. Another type of tampon is when it's just a really long tube. I don't know if you can even see that, but it is a tube, and you just push it down inside of itself and it turns like that, but then the other side is inside it. It's really hard to do, so I'm not going to try to do it on camera. I'm not going to be selling any of these designs that I'm showing you, but I thought I would just show you them anyway. Another one is just to show you that you can make them short and wide if you want, so that when you roll them up, it's really short, but then it's wider, so you can still have if you have a really, really, really low cervix, like lower than me if you've heard me explain my cervix before, and if you can stand a wider tampon, this would be a good deal for you because when it's wider, it can fit more absorbency in it, so you're not stuck with just a short little tampon. And then the next one is a mini design that I tried. I didn't end up liking it. But it's just even more short, and it's less wide. So yeah, it's really short. I have short fingers too, by the way. So yeah, those are all the different types of tampons. Well, I guess I can show mine too. Mine are just regular square. They're not short or long. They're not thin or wide. They're just kind of average. So this is a light tampon. I actually just came up with my light design a few days ago, so that's kind of neat to be able to show it. It's really, really tiny. Just the diameter of it is really small. So that's good for somebody who likes smaller tampons, especially since it's a light flow, so that makes sense. It's not too long either, so that works okay. And then here is my regular design. This is the one that I just came up with first, and I have a ton of these because I don't really need a light flow tampon. I guess they would be nice to have, but I don't really need one, and I definitely don't need a heavy flow tampon. So here is the regular. Neither of these are wrapped up as tight as I could get them. You just have to work with it and see how you need it rolled. So I'll try to hold them both up. So you can see the difference, light flow and regular flow. And then if you can just imagine a heavy flow, just a little bit longer and a little bit wider. And I suppose if you don't like either of these designs, or if you don't like my shape or something, and you still want to order from me, you can just let me know and I can either shorten it or widen it or whatever you want. I'll be putting my stitch measurements in this video as well. So I'm going to show you how to make a light flow tampon, because that is actually what somebody ordered in this color, so that'll be helpful to me and to you, so you can see how you make it. I'm not actually going to be teaching you how to crochet because this video would just be crazy awful long if I did that. Maybe I'll do a video on that someday, but honestly there's so many tutorials on YouTube already. I don't think it would be worth it for me to make one unless you really want me to. You can put it in the comments if you really want me to, and I will. But anyway, so you're just going to tie a slip knot. I'm not going to go into too much detail about anything. I'm just going to assume you know the basics of crocheting. And so you want your string of your tampon is going to be a chain, and then it goes to a string. So you don't want your string to be too long, or your like waist yarn. So I'm just going to put it like that for now, and then it will pull a little bit longer. Okay, so there. It's about that long compared to my finger. And then you just put your hook in there, pull it tight. And I think I am going to chain 25. I think that is the measurement that I remember from my light flow tampon. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, this is taking a long time. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so when you get to 25, whenever you turn from a chain, you always do one extra to make the height of your next stitch. So we're going to have 26 chained. You can see what that looks like. And then that is what the string of the tampon is going to be. And then you're going to single crochet across 10 stitches. Okay, so I suppose I should mention that this is a size H hook. If you can see that, they have the millimeter measurements on there as well. If you can see that, yeah, there you go. So now you know what size of hook I'm using, and I'm just using a regular 4-ply yarn, and it's 100% organic cotton. Just if you wanted to know what I would be using. Okay, so now it is 10 stitches across. I'll just pull this out. Just ignore that loop. But as you can see, this is going to be the string of the tampon, and this is the start of the tampon itself. And then you're just going to build that up. I'm going to go ahead and count how many rows I did on here. Okay, so this is 14 rows tall, and just so you know, my stitches are pretty tight, so you might need like a smaller amount of stitches just depending on how tight your stitches are and how new you are to crocheting. I can do a knitting version on this some other time, but this video is going to be too long already. So I'm just going to stick with this for now. So you're just going to keep going and do 13 more rows, which is, it kind of sounds like a lot, but it's not really. So it'll just end up like this, and then at the end I will show you how to finish it off, or how I finish it off. Okay, so I know this isn't the right amount of rows, but I realize I really have to get going for my day, so I'm just going to show you how to finish it off. So you're gonna want to do a slip stitch through, and then you cut the end, and then as you can see here, with this sticking out, you just weave the ends in through the crochet stitches. I just did it along the top. I find that works the best for me because then it just gets rolled right up into the thing. And with 14 stitches, so going across, back, if you have an even number of stitches, your waist end of the yarn is going to end up on the same side as this, and that means it will end up on the inside of the roll. So that's what I find preferable for myself. I suppose it doesn't really matter, but I just think it looks neater when it's rolled up to have the waist yarn on the inside. So yeah, this is what it will look like when it is completed, and I will put I guess I'll just kind of write out my own version of these instructions in the description. I will do one for light flow, regular flow, and I will create one for heavy flow. I actually have made one with a heavy flow, but I gave it to a friend of mine because she has a heavier flow than I do. I really don't need a heavy tampon. So the regular flow is, I believe, just 2 rows taller and 2 stitches wider. And also the chain that you start with is longer. I think the chain is maybe 30? I'm not sure. And also another trick that I use with my tampons, after I roll them up, just to make it a lot easier to pull them out, I wrap, oh, that was not correct. So you roll them up, and I wrap this outside string around the tampon and then tuck it under. So it's like you're tying a knot around the tampon. Sorry, my fingernails are short. I just trimmed them, so this is hard to do. And then you just pull it tight. You have to kind of maneuver all of the thing around. and then it kind of just holds it in place. Then it's in the shape of a tampon, and when you pull it out, it doesn't pull apart. Because if you have a different tampon rolled up and you try to pull it out, it kind of just pulls the layers apart when you pull it out, and it's just not as comfortable to pull out. It just doesn't pull out as neatly, because this just pulls straight out. So that's just a random tip, I guess. And so that is all I'm going to say about this right now. Good luck to making your own crocheted tampons. I'm really happy to be teaching you how to do this. I can also do how to make a cloth pad video pretty soon, so I'll have that up sometime. You can subscribe if you would like to keep up with my videos, and that's it. Thanks for watching.